about LFO1 on the UDO Super 6. Okay, it's a pretty straightforward LFO. There aren't a lot of... okay, I'm just not even going to finish that sentence because it was headed towards a lie, and I'm not going to lie to you. That's my commitment to you. Okay, so I'm going to use DDS1, Oscillator 1, to show you this LFO because it's easy. Okay, so we have a number of LFO features you're probably accustomed to seeing: waveform choice, rate, delay, and this LR phase, which we'll talk about. But first, okay, so let's just add LFO to Oscillator 1. See, with this synthesizer, you can make a siren noise. Okay. So that's pretty straightforward. And keep in mind that this LFO can be directed really anywhere. But I'm just giving you a sense of what this LFO sounds like when it does what it does. And so then you can imagine what it would do to other things. But here, let's just, let's also remember that this is polyphony. As you can probably hear over time, the different LFOs, and let's be clear, there are 6 LFOs, not 12. There are 6. 2 of the voices that exist in the 12 voices will share an LFO. If you want to do the math, I'm terrible at math, but at least I get that. There are 6 LFOs, 2 oscillators share a single LFO, and because of the binaural aspect, that works out just fine. Okay, so let's hear some of the other waves. There's also a square wave. And it does go slightly into the audio range there at the top. We also have random, which is basically what ends up sounding like a sample and hold. But these 6 LFOs are independent and free running and are affecting the 2 oscillators each of them addresses independently, which is why you are hearing a lot of different things right now. Copyright 2021. That's my avant-garde jazz piece. Okay, so that is cool. I mean, when you have an LFO that affects oscillators differently, you're going to get something way better than all of them being submitted to a single square wave, which is how traditionally analog polysynths worked, and it was fine, but this is better. Okay, so we also have a sawtooth wave. Okay, I'm going to go back to our triangle wave to talk about the next things, which is, well, okay, let's hear the delay. That's the delay just basically delays the application of the LFO to whatever the LFO is connected to. So you can hear it kind of starts out. There isn't a huge delay, but I have it halfway up, and it starts off straight, but you can hear the delay, the LFO come in pretty quickly. If you get all the way up to the top, it starts off as a sort of vibrato and then moves right into crazy LFO. So let's see what random sounds like when we do that. Kind of in love with that. That's amazing. Okay, so that's what the delay does. Left-right phase. Left-right phase. Okay, so this is mind-blowing. Left-right phase affects the two different Super 6 chunks differently and will generate stereo outcomes. So let's hear it with the filter. Let's add LFO1 to the filter. Now we'll add left-right phase. And let's do it with something like random. Without left-right phase? With left-right phase. So yeah, it causes the LFO to affect things differently within the context of the binaural structure, which makes for extreme and agonizing beauty. Okay, let's go back to the just pitch. And let's talk about the modes over here. Gosh, I love this. Okay, so free running, the LFOs, the 6 of the LFOs are free running, and you just tap into them where they're at, and they may be anywhere, and they're going to do their own thing, which is cool. We also have the once setting. Now, I have always loved this because then your LFO becomes an envelope generator in the shape of the waveform you've selected and allows you to use the LFO to give a single cycle voltage control thing to whatever you direct it to. We have it directed to pitch. So now our triangle wave will just go once. And as you speed it up, that wave gets shorter, which allows you to do cooled attack transients. What happens with random? It's kind of just set to its own deal, I guess. Okay, sawtooth wave. And of course, you could direct this to a variety of places, causing you to have a bunch of simple waveforms as modulations that you can direct elsewhere, like a tiny envelope generator, which is super helpful. And then resets the LFO every time you play. Let's see how that works. That way your LFO always starts in the same place. So if you have some sort of rhythmic thing or desired effect, it will always start where you need it to start.